There we go. What is up, guys and gals? It's me, Thomas Fan01 here. If you guys do decide to show up, great, great. If you don't, hey, no big deal, no big deal. But we don't start until somebody shows up. Once somebody shows up, then we unbox. Let me just... Hey, welcome, 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 welcome! Alright, now that somebody's shown up, now we can unbox this thing. The question is how the heck am I supposed to unbox this? Let's try this. Yeah, I like that a little bit easier. Okay. Nope, nope, don't want that. There we go. That's better. There he is. There he is. That. I'm gonna slap a piece of tape on this box because I feel like doing that. Is that the only strap he has? I'll be darned. And that's Seaspray. So, yeah. Oh, just opened up the Seaspray. I'm gonna shove this back in here. Because I'm a crazy weirdo like that. So, if you guys do decide to comment, you guys do get shouted out at the end of the video, so don't forget it. Don't forget it. Not forget that you do get shouted out, and I always keep my promises. So yeah, do not forget to comment on the video. Don't forget to do what you want to do. If you guys want to, great. If you guys don't feel like it, again, no pressure. So, but anyways, today we are unboxing the Seaspray from the retro release line, which I gotta say I'm quite thrilled about. But honestly, gotta say, this was one figure I definitely was not expecting for them to release at all. I never thought they would actually do it. After that crappy release that was Beachcomber, I didn't think they were going to bother with this guy. In fact, I really didn't think they were going to bother with this dude at all. Hey, what's going on, John? Who's my favorite Transformer? That depends. Which one? Out of the ones that are currently sitting on the table, or out of all time? Gotta ask now. So, gotta ask that rebuttal question because I genuinely could go on for days about my favorite Transformers. But please, I genuinely, which one are you referring to? Are you referring, like, in all total, or are you referring to, like, I don't know. So, like, of all time, my favorite Transformers, probably Studio Series Dark of the Moon, Shockwave. So, yeah. But no, this guy, I'm excited that this guy's here. However, y'all voted for this. Y'all did vote for this guy. I do have him, and he is next week's Unbox and Chill. So, please be aware of that. So, yeah. But out of the ones that I got here currently, I kind of like Cosmos the most. So, yeah. But if we're referring to just all-time favorite guy, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Like all time, gotta say that's a rough question. So, but you know what? I do my best to answer them as best I can. So, but ooh, hello. So there's that goes down there. This brick comes all the way down here. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't think everybody thought this was gonna be like a very heavy retool of Cosmos, to which I thought if you were gonna do a Seaspray figure, you wouldn't do a Cosmos redo. Not saying it wouldn't have worked out, but I am not saying it wouldn't have not worked out either. So, I don't know. That being said, I genuinely don't know what I'm doing right at the moment. That goes here. There we go. That goes there. Knees fold down a hair, I think. I don't know. Y'all are watching a monkey fiddle around with this. So, hooray. So, that being said, this is a Walmart exclusive. If you guys are interested in picking one up, you are going to have to find it at Walmart. So, that's where this guy resides. They also have this guy and the retro release of this guy, so be aware of that. So, there is that. Okay, how does the head compress like it needs to? I don't know. It's not supposed to. So, come on. Where's the... There's got to be some way for this thing to fold in on itself. Well, time to consult the instructions. Like we usually don't. So, but hey. It's time to consult the instructions. Why, apparently there is no folding in gimmick on the hands. Why, so there is not. There we go. Alright, so let's fold this in. Let's fold these out for just a quick moment. And then, yeah. Okay, I feel really, really stupid. That goes there. This goes here. These knees are supposed to not bend? I don't know. I'm gonna have to reconsult the manual one more time. Not that I want to, but I'm gonna have to. Oh, there's the channel kitty. What you doing, little dude? Hi. What you doing, buddy? What you doing, little kitty? You want to say hello to people? There you go. There's the channel kitty. Sometimes he's a lovable little dude, and sometimes he's a little shit. So, but I love my kitty cat. You could not convince me otherwise. So, alright. What am I supposed to do with those? That's where this folds all up. Okay. Okay. I feel dumb. I feel really dumb. There we go. That's better. This is supposed to all fold up. Like this. The best way you can possibly get it to go. There we go. Make sure that panel tabs right on into there. Make sure that tabs on into there. That's better. Now I feel much better about that. Still not a fan of how this is supposed to... That's an issue right there. Ugh, that's a problem. So, that being said, don't forget to comment. If y'all do comment, y'all get shouted out at the end. Don't forget it. Don't forget. So, John, you definitely already getting yourself a shout out. That's gonna be folded down, then folded back up. Okay. And this rotates around. And here we have Seaspray in his... There we go. Hooray. So, hey, what's going on, Bam Tong? How you doing? So, we'll take... Okay, I guess that's the only place it can live. So, yeah. Sup, Saga? How you doing? Ugh. I'm tired. That's how I'm doing. I'm tired, but no, we got the retro release Seaspray finally. So gotta say, that being said, how much would that be in? How much is that gonna be in, like, Indonesian dollars? Because I know this was ridiculously expensive for a deluxe. Like, I am very very upset at Hasbro. Hey, come here. Come on, you little play. Sorry, the kitty is very. Hello. Hi. Hi, buddy. It doesn't exist in your country. Oh, dude, I'm so sorry. That's you're gonna have to wait for the cartoon version, which is probably gonna come out either in Studio Series or it's probably we have to import it. I'm sorry. That's not a very fun thing to have happen. Is to having to import all your figures from other countries. I definitely understand that. That is not fun. Definitely not fun. But still, at the same time, this was $32. I am not happy with that. This is $32. That's $24.99. That's $24.99. That's $24.99. That's $24.99. That's $89.99 for what I'm. Yeah, I'm also referring to that one. So that's $89.99. Yeah, seriously, $32 for this. The retro re-releases are not cheap. FYI, that's only a $5 difference between this. $5 difference between that. Because that's 37. I swear, the only other reissue, the only other retro release I'm ever gonna acquire is gonna be that wheelie. And that wheelie is probably gonna get thrown into the Studio Series line and repainted over like 3 or 4 different times. It's probably gonna get a G2 release. It's probably gonna have that retro release, just like this one is, you know, because we saw the pictures. That's gonna get one. So that's gonna get a retro release. I also have a feeling he's gonna get a retro release. So yeah, he's $89.99. So but that's also kind of standard for commander classes. So yeah. So seriously, if y'all are thinking about like, oh, this is a really inexpensive hobby, it is not. It is not an inexpensive hobby, nor is it even relatable to cheap. It is definitely something you have to actively go out and make money for. So, yeah. But on a brighter note, we have Seaspray right here. Gotta say I'm quite thrilled about that I got another mini bot to add to my collection. I'm so excited because we've got, what, 2 more mini bots left? I think we got 2 more left to go. Power Glide and, yeah, it's Power Glide. And I also think we're supposed to be getting, Wind Charger from Studio Series. I totally nearly slipped my mind. Hey, buddy. You guys don't know this, but I have a kitty cat sitting in my lap. And he's very, very wanting for attention. And he gets all the loves. Yes, he does. Yes, the kitty does. Not joking. Got a kitty. Channel kitty. His name Toast. So, yeah. We love the kitty cats in this house. We love the kitty cats, that's for sure. Oh, happy guy. Happy guy. Don't. I don't need your claws in my leg. So, what's up, Autobot7177? How you doing? How are you doing? Gotta ask, how is that man doing? So, $1 million for a piece of plastic, by the way. Yeah, I did catch that. I still don't understand that. Agent Knight costs $1 million. I have Agent Knight, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I like it, but as an exclusive, that is not one that I would actively tell people to go out and buy, because it is practically just it is pretty much the most biggest nothing burger How much did Seaspray run you? 32.28, I think. So, yeah, not cheap. Trust me, I'm not thrilled because these things are costing more and more money. And here's what even drives me more up the wall. This is an exclusive. I remember when that was an exclusive. Like, I still have the box for that Cosmos. Hasbro Indonesia should stop glazing their figures. Holy cow. Yeah, ouch. I'm not real too thrilled because this is the the Velocitron Speedia 500 version. And seriously, this guy ran me, I think, actually, yeah, no, this guy ran me $23. Yeah, $23. So yeah, I'm not real too thrilled about that, but I also have a feeling this dude's gonna get a retro release because they already did the Bumblebee one. They did Gears. They're also doing Brawn now, in the same wave with Seaspray. The next one that they're doing is gonna be the Brawn repaint slash remold, which is supposed to be Outback, and then the one that comes after that is supposed to be the retro release of Wheelie. I don't know if this is true or not, but I believe it's supposed to be the retro release of Wind Charger, excuse me. It's supposed to be the retro release of Wind Charger. Hold on here. Did you see that craptastic Skybound Optimus retool? I did. I did, and I'm not real too thrilled about that. So, by the way, a Bop It Transformers variant costs 280,000 rupees, which is $28, I think. Yeah, it sounds about right. Hi, you. I have like I said, I got a kitty cat in my lap, so. But no, I do agree. That was a terrible release. Like, and here's the thing, I was considering buying it. I was seriously considering buying it. Then I saw somebody go, the plastic quality is horrible. And I'm like, what on earth? I'm sorry, how does a Megatron... Yeah, agreed. How does a Megatron arm add almost like 20 to 30 bucks? I do agree with that. Wait, hold up, $20? Yeah, lest we also not forget. It wasn't Hasbro, but there was a third-party company that basically redid the Studio Series 86 Commander Class Prime mold, but they were basing it off of the Skybound mold, Optimus Prime, and they decided, well, we're gonna charge an extra $20 to $30 for a freaking Megatron arm to go on his side, just so it would be that. I would rather get groceries. Yeah, no trailer. Yeah, there was also I agreed. There was no trailer. There was not any other accessories other than the arm and Prime himself. That was it. There was nothing else. I seriously want to know who the heck was smoking what during that whole process and thinking that that's a great idea. And I 100% agree with you. Groceries would be a better plan for this. So, did you check TFW 2005? I did check that actually. Today there was actually some pretty interesting releases that happened at the New York Comic Con. To which that being said, I thought it was quite an interesting release that they were going to do a brand new timelines Optimus Prime and Starscream. To which I think that was really weird. I like Optimus using Megatron's arm, but they should stop glazing the idea. The timeline stuff was a bit... Yeah, that was a bit strange. Take note. By the way, did anybody notice this? Did anybody notice this in that stream or in that picture? This will be the nth time they've reused the Air Razor mold. Seriously, it's been a whole month. The timeline stuff was a bit like seriously. They have Optimus Prime, or correction, they call him Samurai Optimus Prime, and they have him as a ox and cart, and then they turn Starscream into a falcon. But I don't understand why. I'm very confused about that. That whole bit was like one of those things where I'm like, okay, that doesn't make sense. However, they did show off the in-hand images of the Studio Series Titan Class Grimlock, which I gotta say I'm very excited for that. They also showed off a lot of the in-hand images for the next wave of Studio Series, which I'm very stoked for. That Thundercracker, holy cow. The fact that that's a Voyager blows my mind. It blows my mind. Like, I seriously was like, why? Why'd you guys sleep on this mold and then decided to just out of the blue just completely give it to us? I mean, take note. I'm not saying it was a bad mold, but I swear though, compare 86 Prime to the new Skybound Optimus Prime. According to Hasbro, the trailer, roller, and blast effects are only worth $10. Yeah, if you're really gonna throw that into if you're gonna throw that into perspective, that's true. And I'm not even gonna lie, the whole amount of money they probably spent on creating this guy, and we'll bring him into frame just because he's on topic for tonight. This whole figure should cost them maybe about $40 to produce. It should cost them a grand total of about $40 to produce. Okay? This whole figure should be $40, right? Well, because they also have to throw it into the fact that there also is employee time. Hey, what's going on, Corey Tucker? How you doing? How you doing? The Armada Optimus is not any better. I didn't care for the Armada Optimus because that wasn't one that I was actively on the hunt for, so I never really cared. But point being, this guy for them to produce is about $40. They add a 50% to almost 75% markup on it. Then what they do is they'll add a few other things in there just to make sure, just to try and justify the price point. Then once they try to justify that price point and tell you, oh, but it comes with this, and it comes with XYZ all the time, and then they're like, and that's why it's $89.99. And it's like, that's too much. Way too much. So, I meant the new Nemesis being... what? I actually haven't paid attention to that yet. The Armada Optimus is not any better. You mean the new Nemesis being the one from... Is it actually the one from the 90s? Like, or maybe not the one from the 90s, but is it like the... is the transformation exactly the same? I don't know because I don't have the Armada Prime, nor do I have the Legacy Evolutions Optimus Prime to care. Because I did not care for like a third of the Armada stuff that came out. John, it should be $50 instead of $80. I agree. I think at most this should probably cost about 65 bucks. At most is what you should be paying for this guy. Now take note, because it comes in the Commander class packaging, it becomes literally, it goes from like 50 to 60 bucks to not almost 90 to 100. So that's the part that I'm not real too thrilled about with the fact with these figures, is that they're literally upcharging you for figures that should only cost, like, I swear they should be selling these at cost, and or they should be making maybe a $15 to $20 profit at most. And if they're not going to literally sell them at cost or do something of the nature, then why on earth would they not sell them like that? Because I understand they have to make money on certain things, but they make money off of pretty much every other stolen aspect from Hasbro. And the reason I call it stolen is because, seriously, they bought the rights to only certain figures, then created new ones after the movie and the cartoon came out and were a wildly popular success. Did you hear about the new Lego Death Star? Yeah, I did hear about that, but I really didn't care for it. I finally paid for Fireflight and Skydive. Now I just have to wait till November for them to arrive. I am sorry you have to wait till November for them to arrive. I really am sorry for that. Hold on. The new Armada Nemesis is redecoed from the Legacy Armada Prime with the 3 mini-cons without the trailer attachment and is the same. What? You're kidding me. I haven't paid attention to that in the slightest. Are you kidding me? They're exactly the same price? For practically almost a Voyager class to Leader class figure. Wow. Okay. I really don't like saying this, but Hasbro blows. Like, seriously. What on earth was that for? You seriously just yeah, dude, take note. I'm not upset about the 3 mini-cons turning into the Star Saber, because if they were to make that a set and release it for release it in a deluxe class, I think that would be a little bit acceptable. But I don't think it's acceptable to release a freaking Commander class figure with no trailer and 3 mini-cons that don't need to be there. Apparently, no, they're not worth $50. I'm gonna tell you right now, that's a lie. That's a lie. That is a lie. You got to be lying to me on that front. Take note, I'm not trying to call you a liar. I'm just saying you got to be lying to me on that front. They're not worth $50. They're nowhere near $50. The only reason I have to wait till November is because I pre-ordered them from JB Hi-Fi. Oh, you did? I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to buy them from JB Hi-Fi. Well, then again, you live in the UK, correct? Or over in Europe, Corey? So, but Autobots, Autobot, I do agree with you. That is Hasbro, dude. I don't believe that. I do not believe that. It should cost them maybe 24.99 at most to completely produce those, and they should be the exact same price. Here, let me scooch this out of the way just so we can kind of get a little bit of an idea of what I'm talking about. They should cost the total of this set right here. Not the whole box, this bit right here. Studio Series 52, that's what they should be completely do. Or it should be that's what they should be completely. So, oh, okay, so you live in Australia. That's all right. I apologize. I did not mean. Oh, you live in Sydney, Australia. That's cool. So Armada Nemesis and Skybound Primer Complete Highway Robbery. Yeah, that's why I'm not gonna buy them. That's why I didn't. That's why I don't buy those ones, and I will never buy the stupid Hasbro exclusives like that. The only Hasbro exclusive that I'm actually considering buying is the Timeline's Hearts of Steel Optimus, Bumblebee, Megatron, and Starscream. Those are the only ones I'm actually considering because those actually look good. Just like, but that is just. I do agree. That is highway robbery entirely. So, anyways, that being said, I got some friends, Corey Tucker. I got somebody who lives in Perth, and I think I got somebody who lives not too far away from Melbourne. So, I still have the 1986 movie. That is great. I have the 1986 movie as well. And I gotta say, I heard somebody getting upset about that movie recently, to which I gotta say, why would you get upset at a classic? It is a classic movie. Suck that they waited for the comic variant to give Optimus the accurate. I agree and disagree. I agree to an extent because I like this head sculpt. I don't hate this head sculpt. Like, this head sculpt actually doesn't look half bad. In all fairness, this head sculpt actually looks pretty decent. I'm not going to complain about that. So, yeah. Ugh. But I do agree. I don't think it's smart that they waited that long to give him the comic accurate, the comic variant to give Optimus the accurate hat. I do agree with you on that. I'm not real too thrilled about that. So that being said, I have yet to come across that 4-pack, which is honestly the one that I kind of want to do. Want to find. I want to find that next because I definitely love that. Hold on. It's not bad, but it's just generic Optimus head sculpt. It's true, but at the same time, I do like this. This is not a bad thing to have. So, yeah. If Transformers ever do a collab with Power Rangers, nope. I refuse to care for Power Rangers, and I definitely can tell you this much. I guarantee you that they would not do a crossover with Power Rangers for 3 reasons. The first one, they already have their own gimmick, and it's kind of already a crossover with Voltron. It's pretty much just like it's pretty much just like a different, like a different version of Voltron. I seriously feel like that's what they stole the idea from. And I feel like Voltron may have stolen the idea from Robotech. So I don't really call that great. So, hey, what's going on, Devin? How you doing? I'm not gonna bother reading that whole thing. But nice to see you, Devin. Nice to see you. I honestly think the most 86 film accurate head is the one on the VNR Volvo Optimus Prime. I do not have that one because I never really cared for it. I was personally waiting for Amazon Prime, which has been eluded to and completely ignored by Jeffy Bezos. And it's also been ignored by Hasbro. So, seriously, if they're going to do that, then I'm waiting for them to release that. However, I also know it's probably going to be a variant of the Target Optimus Prime with the... Hold on, I don't think it's happening anymore. I know, but if they were to do it, it's probably going to be a re-release of that G2 Optimus Prime from Legacy with an Amazon Prime trailer that's going to be in the shape of the one that came with the Volvo version of Optimus Prime. And I also have a feeling that it would come with either a price gun or he would do something of that nature. The normal colors one is on sale for $44 on Amazon. Ah, do I really want to spend $44 on a car on a truck that I really don't know that I'm gonna care for later on? I've already done that already enough with the G2 molds. Do you have the Devastation Wheeljack and Sideswipe? No, I do not, but I have seen them out and about. So I would not. I'm not going to cross them off the list because I definitely don't know that I want those. And the reason why I say I don't know that I want those is because those two specifically, they weren't really all that much important in the game. I know Wheeljack was probably the most important character in said game, but Sideswipe didn't really have much of a role. I mean, take note. I know they're going to also re-release this guy in Devastation colors as well. They're going to release Devastation colors. They're going to release Grimlock in Devastation colors. They're going to release Red Alert and Devastation colors, so I'm not going to be surprised. No, don't get them. It's a trap like Legacy United Soundwave. Legacy, okay. I don't consider Legacy United Soundwave a trap because I didn't get the authorized version, nor was I able to procure the re-release of it the second time around. And I was very bummed about that, so then I decided I would just get the Legacy United version of it in the end. 86 Wheeljack and Sunstreaker are releasing next year. It's a cash grab. I won't be surprised. I really am not surprised by that. So, if you'll excuse me, I have something that I believe is sitting upstairs. Talk amongst yourselves. Ask me some questions. I'll go through it and hear when I come back downstairs. So, give me just a moment. And now back to our regularly scheduled live stream. Sorry, I was gifted a root beer float by one of the nearby Arctic circles. So, hold on here. So who here collects Hot Wheels? Funny story about that, actually. I have a gift for one of my friends, which I did go and procure today, which... Hold on here. He's got Kingdom Pipes. That's cool. Hey, what's going on, Ninja Teo 00 or Ninja Teo 07? I passed on Legacy Soundwaves because I knew the far better 86 one would release soon. I knew it was a last-minute bait and switch to make you buy 2 liters. I don't really think it was a bait and switch. I do and don't believe it was a bait and switch. I do believe it was a bait and switch for the fact of the cassettes. That is 100% a bait and switch. I do agree with you there on that front. The figure itself, it sufficed, but I do agree. The 86 one is the superior one that you should acquire. Not that I have it, but I definitely think it's going to be worth it. So, have 2 closets filled with Transformers. That's cool. I've got a bookcase and a shelf filled and a cabinet full, so... Alright. Sorry. Root beer float tastes delicious. But that's why I don't feel like it was a bait and switch, because that figure sufficed until they were like, okay, now we can do the 86 Soundwave and we can do it right. I have a feeling the reason why they waited on the 86 Soundwave is because they couldn't figure out how to do like 3/4 of it. Although the Earthrise Laserbeak is kind of way better, not a fan of the new 86 one. It just looks wrong, nice. I just found out that Voltron is adapted from Beast King Galleon, and Beast King Galleon is adapted from Super Sentai, which is what Power Rangers is made from. I, I don't know. I really don't care for Power Rangers, and I'm going to be honest with you. If they do a Transformers crossover with it, my question is what the heck would they do? There's way too much to draw from, and it could be a subline all in its own. And technically, it kind of is. Because if I'm not mistaken, wasn't there a point in time when when Power Rangers did the Transformers gimmick? Like they did like the Super Sentai Beasts, or they did like this like something of that nature. Like they had beast modes, they had all sorts of stuff. Ku Klux Godzilla and other kaiju's. I definitely don't. Although I do agree that the that Godzilla and kaiju's are pretty darn cool, I just don't collect them. So I personally don't give a crap for Godzilla and certain other franchises because it's never been my thing. So, do you think Seaspray is worth the money? I want him, but 27. No, it's not 27.99, dude. I'm not even joking. It's 32.9. It's 32.20. That's what this thing fully cost. It costs $29.94 at Walmart, and with tax, it's $32.20, or roughly that. You're still not walking away without you got them at Walmart. It's a Walmart exclusive. These are Walmart exclusives. The retro releases. I'm not gonna repeat that because I really don't think it's smart to say that out loud on camera. But I am gonna agree with you on that, and I do not think it's great. I think it's really stupid. I think it's probably the dumbest thing that I've ever heard of Walmart and Hasbro colluding together, because I seriously feel like that's what they do. Walmart and Hasbro collude together a lot, and they also give out figures and releases saying, oh, this is what it's going to be. Hold on. Well, what I'm thinking they could do is a 6-team group to base off of Jason David Frank. Funny story. I actually got to meet him. And it wasn't at a Comic-Con. So, I wanted the card backs to hang on my wall. I don't blame you. These are pretty darn cool card backs, and so is the back, because it's basically just the G1 packaging with a different figure. So, but I don't think it's I don't think it's pretty cool. I don't think it's cool for $32. I definitely agree. So, how you doing, Kuan de Silva Benzera? How you doing? So, I do agree. Yeah, $32 is not great for a deluxe class. That is terrible. So, but back to you, Corey Tucker. I actually did get to meet Jason David Frank once, and it was actually 2 weeks before he passed away. So, do you still burn boxes? It depends on the boxes, and it depends on what happens. So, yeah, I do burn them to make room. But take note, they're my boxes. So wait, Thomas, are you going to get 86 Wind Charger? Yes, I am going to get 86 Wind Charger. I do plan on getting that when it does come out. There's another year of Transformers Studio Series 86 to come out, so yeah, I'm going to be getting a good chunk of them. So, my rarest Hot Wheel is the 1999 X-Ray Series Lamborghini Diablo. I don't really collect them, but I did manage to get the entire set of the Acceleracers Silver Series for my buddy Riveted Rail fan / Riveted Reviews. So, yeah. So, and take note, I know nothing about the series. I never really cared. But to continue with my story about meeting Jason David Frank, I used to work at a toy... Hold on here. I finally opened my 86 Starscream. I got him for $15 at Ollie's. What a piece of crap. Quality control is non-existent, and the plastic is awful. I'm glad I basically got the throne for Megs for $15. I don't blame you. That's not a bad throne to get. However, this is what I do happen to know about that. They're going to re-release a Studio Series 86 Leader Class Starscream with that again, but they're going to do it with the new mold. That I do know. So, anyways, back to Jason David Frank. So basically, I used to work at a toy store, and my boss, believe it or not, was friends with Jason David Frank. And I, truth be told, did not really care. And I also did not know who the dude was. Um, Seriously, did not know who the dude was. But, anyways, to continue with it, I didn't know what was going on. He just showed up at the toy store one day. I'm like, what? I'm like, who the heck is this dude? I took a picture, sent it to my boss. I'm like, hey, there's this dude, and he's asking for you. How many Comic Cons have I been to? I have been to 4 in my life total. So, another 86 Thundercracker is coming out shortly, but I hope they can redo the Stars. They're gonna redo it. They're gonna redo all of the Seekers. You do realize that, right? They're starting with Thundercracker because Thundercracker is quite nice. So I'm sure, but the first variant of the new mold, as far as Starscream is concerned, I'd be going to to a Target exclusive along with Living Prowl, Major Bummer. Uh, I think if they're going to do a Living Prowl, it's going to be Devastation in Studio Series. So, anyways, to my knowledge, I did not know that this was Jason David Frank, but I was working. It been leaked. Oh, cool. I never go to Comic Cons. Well, you don't know what you're missing out on, man. I'm going to be honest with you. You really don't know what you're missing out on. They are quite some of the most fun things that I've ever been to. Stop it. What are you doing? Yes, I know. I know you want attention. I know you want loves. And I know you're really, really frustrated at me because I'm talking to a camera and not you. So, along with the new Leader 86 Prime, but that'll be Earthrise Optimus again. I don't think it's going to be Earthrise Optimus. From what I've actually been told, it's going to be this guy, and they're going to basically re-release him in Battle Damage, and/or they're going to release him in Cell Shade. So, I know it's not going to be Earthrise Optimus, because that has been reused to death for pretty much everything. Kitty, you're getting yourself in trouble. Stop it. Stop. What's your matter? Come here. So, hold on here. Hold on here. Well, look at the comic one, though. It's $80 just for him. What better, G1 or Bay versus me, G1? What I'm thinking of doing is getting a custom 3D printed chest piece and head so I can swap out the dying prowl parts. If you want to, that's great. I mean, it's not a bad idea. So, but from what I understood, though, that the Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime was supposed to be a redeco of him. And from what I also understand is they were going to do a redeco of him and Leader Megatron in Battle Damage colors. So, I'm going to be honest with you though, Devin. I personally do enjoy G1. I don't hate it. But at the same time, I also have an affinity for enjoying the movies, as you can clearly see on in the background. Like, seriously, I've got all of these in the background here. I don't like any of the movies, but no, I'm the '86 movie definitely has its place in my heart. But also so do the Bay movies and the Travis Knight and Stephen Caple Jr. So I hope it's the '86 mold again, but I won't get my hopes up because I know when the Alive '86 Prowl comes out, now that I will instantly sell out. From what I understand, they're going to do a Devastation Prowl, and from what I understand, they may or may not do an '86 Prowl, Living Prowl. Now take note, this is all from what I've understood from the leaked listings. Okay? So I'm not saying nobody's wrong, but I'm also not saying everybody's right, because I have no clue if I'm wrong or right either. So Prowl was in Devastation. Yeah, he was an unlockable character. It was a weird unlockable character, but you could get him as a character. So, Yeah, he was unlockable. And funny story, guess who else was an unlockable character as well that you could get, but I think it was more along the lines of a glitch. It was Goldbug. So, also, should I get Crasher? No. I'm just gonna straight up say it. No. Crasher is not worth it unless you did not get the Legacy Velocitron Speedia version, which is the exact same figure. So, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know why they decided to make that figure re-released again in Age of the Primes. I genuinely don't know. It's very confusing and very frustrating all at the same time. So I'm gonna be real. Do not get Crasher. It's not worth it. It's really just the Mirage mold. It's the Siege Mirage mold, and again, so I would not worry about it. Man, that Devastation B is going to be a hard pill to swallow. 86B for $32 is disgusting. Okay, real quickly, I have no idea if that's the case, if it's going to be $32 for that 86B, okay? Because I know this guy currently is $24.99 at multiple different stores that I've seen across the United States within recent days. So I don't know if that's going to be the case for this. Hey, what's going on, Riveted? How you doing? That being said, Riveted, real quickly, you know what's in here. You know exactly what's in here. So, yeah. So, hold on here. Next year, I'm cooked. Well, that's the new deluxe standard, so I'd assume... No, it's not. Okay. This is $32 for an exclusive, okay? This is an exclusive at Walmart. That is not. This is not. And I don't think it's going to be the new standard because that was exclusive price. You can still go to Walmart and Target and go find them for the exact same price everywhere else, except for this guy because he's an exclusive at Walmart. I don't think it's the new standard because, again, this guy is still the same price for a Voyager. And take note, I picked this guy up today. So this guy is the same price as a Voyager. He's $37. What I'm not happy with is the fact that I went to Walmart and I thought this guy was going to be $24.99 to $26.99 like regular deluxe classes are, and then when I went to go check out, it was $32.20. That's what I was not happy with. And they slapped that on there simply because of that. I've heard of multiple different price points next year as well. I'm not real too thrilled about that. But at the same time, Studio Series included starting with next year Wave 1, so 86 Thundercrackers for... I did hear about the Voyagers getting a price hike. The leader classes already got the price hike because I paid $65 for my freaking Onyx Prime. Was not thrilled about that. So... But yeah, no, I do know that Voyagers are getting a price hike, and at that point, you're going to be choosing whether or not you want a Voyager or you want a leader class. So, seriously, at that point, I don't know which one you want to deal with. So, yeah. I agree, though. I am frustrated with it in that sense of it as well. Do I think it's great? No. In fact, I'm actually kind of pissed off about that because, seriously, the only thing that I keep seeing that's going down in price is gas. If they're going to change Masterpiece prices, I expect Masterpiece quality. I agree. I agree. If they're going to charge MP prices, I do expect Masterpiece quality. And I'm going to not lie to you on that. That I do actually see that with the Studio Series Thundercracker that's coming out next year. So I do see it. But at the same time, I'm also not happy about it because they keep changing it on us at every single turn. Do you collect Magic Square? Fuck no. I do not collect any third-party stuff because it's just as expensive as this. It's just as. And then you add in shipping and you add in protection and then you have to then you have to subscribe to them and you have to buy only from them. Dude, I do not care for third party because third party has always been a waste of money to me. So, scale keeps shifting like every 7 years. What do you want? What do you want, kitty? I do agree with you. Scale does seem to keep shifting every 7 years because, let's be honest here, This is about the size of a leader class in 2007. Or not 2007, 2000 and I want to say 15. And it's a commander class. So yes, it is annoying. It is very annoying. And it's like like seriously, I could literally tell you every single price point from everything that came out from the very first Transformers movie in 2007, at least the live action version. So, I can tell you the price point for all of it. Deluxe classes back then in 2007 were $10. $10, guys. $10 for a deluxe class. That's about what these things should be worth. Voyager classes, if I'm not mistaken, were $22.99 to $24.99. Yeah. So yeah, 2007 Voyager classes were $20, like right around 25, $26. Leader classes back in 2007 were, you guys ready to lose your shit over this? $43.99. That's how much leader classes were. And because Titan classes didn't technically exist yet, they had, what was it, like the Supreme classes? I bet the new Legend scale price point will be like $20 when it eventually comes back again. I doubt it. I doubt that the core class and the Legends class, or whatever the heck it's going to be, I doubt that's going to come back. And if it does, it's going to be an exclusive. Like seriously, I predict this. Should I get Mixmaster? That depends. Which version of Mixmaster are you looking for? Because I have all of Studio Series 86 Devastator, and I have to agree, it is a kick-ass figure. So, okay, the 86 Mixmaster. I think if you're going for Devastator, get them all. Because I gotta say, that Devastator is definitely a beautiful figure to behold. I only bought half of the Constructicons because of Devastator. Well, you gotta buy them all in order to complete Devastator. So, mostly, well, that's your opinion. That is your opinion, and you are entitled to it. I personally think it was better than the Combiner Wars. So, yeah. That being said, if you guys do decide to subscribe, do not forget to do so, because we are very, very, very close to 2,000 subscribers. And when we do hit that threshold, we are going to do something special. So, yeah. So, yeah. So, give or take, we'll keep this going for another few minutes here. It's definitely better than the Combiner Wars, but that doesn't take much. I agree. I agree with you on that one. It doesn't take much to really beat the Combiner Wars, because the Combiner Wars will. It was Combiner Wars. So, it's definitely better than that, but, you know, that's the case. That is definitely the case. Yeah, Combiner Wars has not aged well. I definitely agree with you there. Believe it or not, I actually remember when Combiner Wars came out. In fact, I actually still have one Combiner Wars figure, Ultra Magnus. So I could not afford the 86 one, because that was like ridiculously dumb to see that thing go from like $90 to going into 150 to 200, almost $300. I could not get on board with that. So, yeah. Combiner Wars was a toy line that definitely existed. Yep, I agree with you, Rail Riveted. It definitely was a toy line that existed for sure. It existed, and it was not. I gotta say, I think Combiner Wars was received well at first, and then as they were like, well, this is what we've been sitting on, and they were like, okay, why were you sitting on all of this? And you came out with Combiner Wars. So, yeah. We're going to wrap this up here in about 5 minutes, so if you got any more questions, comments, concerns, please throw them in now, and if you would like to subscribe, don't forget to do so. Oh, Thomas, a combiner they should do is a new... I agree with you on that one, Corey. I 100% agree with you. I definitely think they should do a new version of Volcanicus. I agree with you on that. Me personally, what I'd like to see happen, this is going to sound really, really messed up, but I want to see a War for Cybertron, like from the War for Cybertron video games. I want to see a War for Cybertron Volcanicus. Yeah. I want to see that version of Volcanicus show back up. So, it's kind of a shame the only recent Volcanicus has been in the core class dino. I agree. I definitely agree. But here's the thing, though: if they did a Volcanicus with the War for Cybertron Dinobots, I feel like it could be entertaining. Did you see my last message? I did not. Give me just a second here. I do agree with you. Combiner Wars did not age well. Do you think they will do Defensor? I don't. Well, actually, I take that back. I do think they're going to do Defensor, but I don't think it's going to be the next Combiner. I think after Bruticus, I think they're going to go to, what was it, Abominus? And then I think after they do Abominus, then they might do Defensor. So, which I actually might get Abominus if they decide to do it. If they do a redo of Abominus, I actually might consider that. But it would definitely be a consideration. But I don't think it would be the best in financial choices, because by that point, I'll wager commander classes are going to be $130 a piece. I'll wager I could go for a new Comput. Oh yeah, Computron's also a good idea too. That's not a bad one. When do you think they might do Computron? I don't think they'll do Computron for a good minute, because I don't think they know how to do it. Really shame. I won a toy of First Aid, and I really like his Spotlight episode. I think it was a good episode, so that is true. So that being said, we are just about ready to end this. So if you guys do want to get yourselves shouted out at the end of this live stream, you definitely need to get your comments in now, because we are going to end this here shortly. Make Matt Pat voice him again. I'm good without Matt Pat showing back up again. But me personally, I think that if they're going to do a Defensor, and if they're going to do a Computron, they're going to have... This is what I want to see them do. I want to see them give us an Age of the Primes show. Don't you think that'd be a little bit better than the stupid idea they were going to go with Legacy? They originally were going to do a Legacy television show, and then they were like, I guess we'll not do that yet. So, yeah. I do agree. His voice acting was not great. Galvatron's ultimate weapon talk and being a bluff was kind of dumb in my opinion, but I think First Aid's character arc was incredible. I think you're not wrong. I think it's great. I do think it's cool. So, yeah. Got another minute and 10 seconds here before we finish it out, so please get your comments in if you do want to get shouted out. Well, the War for Cybertron show bombed, so it doesn't surprise me Legacy got canned. I agree. Okay, take note. I think Siege worked. I think Earthrise worked. I think Kingdom failed. And I think Kingdom is where they should have... I think they should have thrown the idea of Kingdom in the trash and skipped it and gone straight to Legacy. Because that was depressing to watch. Because I was not real too thrilled with the fact that they recast like 3/4 of the... Actually, almost all of the voices. I do agree, the voice acting was so bad. And take note, that Megatron, the Beast Wars Megatron, that was horrible. Yes. Come with me now, Primal. It is our turn to do it is time for the Beast Wars. Dude, I am so tired. I was so upset with that. They could have seriously easily gotten David Kaye to come back and do that, and they actively chose not to get him. Same thing with Gary Chalk. Alright, well, we are going to end this live stream, so we are going to shout out all of our fans and friends here. So, thank you to John, thank you to Boim Tong. Once again, thanks Zaga. Autobot7177, and let's also continue with Corey Tucker. One more time with John. Let's also go with Devin. I'm not going to read the whole thing. So, yeah, you can check him out there one more time. Let's also check out Ninja Teo 07 as well. Do not forget to check him out as well. And I do believe, hold on, we got one more. Do not forget to check out Kuwan de Silva Bizarra. And also, one last time, do not forget to check out Riveted Railfan, as they are some friends and family of the show. So, but I do agree with you guys, though. I still want David K to sign my Hot Wheels Jackhammer. That's funny. But anyways, so I do agree. Anyways, you guys have a good rest of your night, and please do not forget to check out the main channel. Don't forget to hit a like on that video. Please do not forget to do so, because it definitely helps the algorithm a little better. And please also do not forget to subscribe, because if you guys do decide to do that, then we will get to 2,000 subscribers before the end of the year. So, anyways, and if we do that, I will be able to get something pretty cool for the channel. So, anyways, do not forget to subscribe and all that fun stuff, and do not forget to keep playing with your toys. Goodbye.